নাম অরণ্য ভৌমিক। আমি পিএইচডি আইআইটি কানপুর থেকে করছি। আর আমি এখন আমার টপিক হলো মেনলি এক্সপেরিমেন্টাল মেটেরিয়াল প্র্যাকটিস অফ ইন্ডিয়ান কন্টেম্পোরারি ওমেন আর্টিস্ট। আর এখানে যে ধরনের মানে প্রবন্ধ পাঠ হচ্ছে সেই প্রবন্ধের থেকে একটু আলাদা আমার টপিক, কিন্তু কিছু কিছু কানেকশনস নিশ্চয়ই আছে। আমার প্রবন্ধটা প্রধানত ইংলিশে আমি পাঠ করব। So, my title is Art Undivided, Tracing the History of Cross-Border Artistic Practice by Women Artists of Bengal. Understanding the role and context of any art practice requires exploring the history of the time in which the artwork or practice was situated. However, there has been a lacuna and certain gaps in the literature on women artists and their art practices throughout art history, whether in the West or in the East. In order to understand this issue, it is essential to refer to the essay "Why Have There Been No Great Women Artists" by art historian Linda Nochlin, published in 1971. The crucial reason that Nochlin identifies behind the absence of female representation in history of art is the restriction on women studying in academia till 18th century that could have helped them in fostering their talent and artistic skill. It is critical to unearth and investigate the distinctive creative geniuses whose works have been eroded by time and have also vanished from art historical literatures. Individual scholars have recently shed new lights on some of these figures, such as Chitraniva Chaudhary. She was a talented artist who went to study in Kolabhavan in Shantiniketan in 1928. She also became the first woman professor there. However, one of her seminal mural done in one of her relatives' residence in Dhaka has been lost over time due to the change of ownership of the building. The account on this tragic fate of this work can be found in the writings of the eminent painter and scholar Nisar Hussain. This paper will discuss 4 such women artists with distinctive art practices from both sides of the border: Meera Mukherjee, Novera Ahmed, Mitu Sen, and Dilara Begum Jolly. Meera Mukherjee was a pioneering figure in Indian modern art who championed the cause of understanding the craft of India by diminishing the art and craft hierarchy. Her research and experimentation with the dhokra gave her a lot of knowledge about how to work with metal. This came out in her artistic language that combined the best of both the modern and traditional arts. A fascinating example would be the Ashoka of Kalinga in 1972. The monumental sculpture was made with the method of dhokra. The sculpture represents the moment when Ashoka had won the Battle of Kalinga and gradually realizing the agony of the destruction he has created. Mukherjee's practice as a sculptor was unbound in her exploration of artistic idiom that incorporated ethnographic and anthropological nuances with a sensitive eye towards art and craft. Material surface, organic semblance of forms, and their procedural implications played a major role in Meera Mukherjee's practice, as they did in the works of Novera Ahmed. Novera Ahmed is considered to be one of the most significant and radical figure in the modern art of Bangladesh. She also played an important role in designing the Shahid Minar with Hamidur Rahman. Her first foray into the sculptural language was influenced by European modern art, but later on, as she developed her language that reflected both the ideals of modern and folk art. Her work frequently echoes mundane subjects such as the work titled Composition, made in cement. It is a group sculpture. The figuration is reminiscent of the folk form of the tapaputul or clay dolls found in different parts of Bengal. There is an interesting amalgamation of local and international elements in Novera Ahmed's artwork, as art critic Mustafa Zaman has noted. The practice that Meera Mukherjee and Novera Ahmed had developed created a new avenue for the later generations of women artists such as Mitu Sen and Dilara Begum Jolly, who who are responsive and innovative in their artistic practices, tracing the history and emergence of unconventional material-based art practices by women artists in India. Mitu Sen's work plays a major role in understanding the contemporary art in the post-liberalized India. One of Sen's thought-provoking work, No Star, No Land, No Word, No Commitment in 2014, is made out of false hair and that addresses the issue of linguistic hierarchies and boundaries that extend far beyond the physical borders of countries and provinces. The wall-mounted installation of a quasi-language that may seem to refer to some dialect but is actually imaginary. She tries to navigate the psychology behind the meaning-making process of things that are alien to one's own culture. In terms of material, using hair to create certain quasi-alphabet alters a material's identity and creates a new one that is bodily and sensorial. The observant vocal nature of Dilara Begum Jolly creates a distinctive art practice that is deeply embedded in her socio-political context. Her works often navigate through the historical trajectories of Bangladesh and locate the injustice and agony that people, especially women, have faced. A seminal work on Biranganas, Alor Stambo in 2020, brings out the anguish and tragedy of the Biranganas. The installation piece consists of 10 portraits of Biranganas that are mounted on a light box. The portraits are pierced with countless needle holes that act as a conduit between the light within the box and the darkness outside. The needle marks are a metaphor for the pain and suffering that women had to go through during the war. Through the discussion, it can be observed that women artists from both sides of Bengal have developed distinctive artistic practices that have opened new possibilities in art as well as created new understandings about human life. In different generations of artists, they have explored different idioms but have remained intrinsically connected to their roots. Materials and mediums play a pivotal role in shaping the creative language of the artists, as they all experimented with them to a great extent. Politics, whether direct or subtly embedded in the artistic expression, also plays a significant role in comprehending their artistic practices. Thank you.